Hey everybody, so today's the second Friday of the month. Now it's my second video. We are doing a Q&A with Ryan today. So I'm thankful for all of you guys sending these questions in. I don't know what any of them say, so I'm going to start with number one. What is your favorite thing about Kim? That would have to be her stubbornness. It kind of actually ends up being her strongest attribute for making sure that I'm following through with things I need to follow through with. The second one is, what is your favorite physical characteristic of Kim? Sorry, I'm a guy, and I love my wife, but it has to be her butt. It just is. Always has been, always will be. Number three, what do you hate most about trying to conceive? The continuous letdowns is honestly the worst thing. It's hideous. I mean, you get the positive, you don't. You get the positive, you don't. You try, and then you know it's consistent like a battle, and you feel like you're up against the wall and you're not winning. So yeah, it's just the letdowns really. It's the hardest thing. You learn to cope with it after time. It's not so bad as the first couple of tries, but it's definitely still the worst thing. Number four, how did the miscarriages affect you, and how did you grieve? I tried not letting it affect me. Kim kind of did the grieving for the both of us, so I tried to be the stronger one and help her through it. I guess so. Grieving was more so just me processing on my own and putting it like into a thought, saying it happens. We just have to move on and hope it doesn't happen again. I mean, I hate to say it like a generic answer, but honestly that's how I had to do it, because if both of us were to ultimately sit there and grieve on it, it would have been far longer than it needed to be, and we would have been in a worse situations than we are now. So I definitely wanted to be stronger for the both of us, so I took the more practical approach, so to speak. What's your go-to beverage when you need a wake up? It used to be energy drinks, various kinds: Monster, Red Bull, Kickstart, Rockstar, all of them. 5 Hour Energy even. With my New Year resolution this year, it's kind of like a goal, not so much a resolution. I could have started it earlier, but I said, why not wait till the New Year? It's now just coffee. Number 6 is, how does your handwriting look? Very horrible. Very, very horrible. So, when will you make another music video parody? I don't know. We thought about a couple different ones. We don't know yet. The next one is number 8. Do you believe in God or some higher power? Yes and no. I do, but I also believe that I don't necessarily need to go to church every single week or every single day to honor him. I know that it's a touchy subject. Religion's never easy to talk about, especially with anything. I mean, you'll get bashed no matter what you say. But my whole point is it's a belief. It's what you believe in. So everybody has an opinion, and it doesn't matter. Do I believe in them? God, yes. Do I believe in a higher power? I believe in multiple higher powers. Not only just God as the ultimate being, so to speak. What is your opinion on spanking? Absolutely not. We never hit Bear or spank him or anything like that. Basically, we tell him just to go to his room and think about what he did. But no, we do not do spanking at all whatsoever. We just don't believe in it. Number 10 is the best and worst things about cloth diapers. And I'm looking forward to doing the next cloth diapering, the next one. The best thing is it saves money. It does. And it's easier. It's no chemicals, no anything that the typical diaper carries with it. The bad thing is much like a normal diaper, when he soils it, you're going to have to replace it regardless. So you're going to need a lot of shells, you're going to need a lot of the actual liners itself. So it's expensive to build up the initial, but I'm looking forward to doing the next one because I don't want to necessarily spend hundreds of dollars on the diapers that we're going through right now just to throw them away, where I can reuse these other ones consistently and not have to worry about throwing them away, and they progress with him. Not, stage 1, stage 2, stage 3, all the way up to 6. What's my dream job? That's changed a lot. I can't really narrow it down to a specific one, but if I were to choose right now, it would be going into the military. It's always something that I've wanted to do for the very longest time. It's just not practical for me. I can't. There's so many things that are hindering me physically. Plus I have asthma, and that's a big no-no right there. I'll even if I get accepted in, I'll do my physical, and then they'll turn me right back home. So there's no point in even trying. If you could move your family to anywhere in the world, no issues, no questions asked, where would you go and why? Surprisingly, I would still stay in the United States, and I would probably go to Tennessee. One, because the promotion rates up there are far, far, far more vast, and with my company and whatnot. The cost of living is cheaper, and with the amount of money that I'm making now, plus my wife's job, when she gets one up there, we'd be able to essentially buy a house that's like 3,600 to 4,200 square foot and pay a mortgage that's about half of what we're paying rent here. So it should be much easier that way. But that would be nice. That would be very nice. And so is the next question. If I was given $1 million, what would you spend it on? I'd probably spend about $500,000 of it. And that's just to, like I said, get a house, get myself situated. I'd still be working, everything like that, because $1 million you can't really do too much with. You can't survive the rest of your life on. So I'd spend $500,000 of it, mostly to getting my future set up to where maybe I'll buy $150,000 worth of shares of stock in my company, which would over time grow, since it's a privately owned company, into something a lot more. So the value of the stock would just grow exponentially. So yeah, I would keep about $500,000 in the bank for Bear and his college fund, so to speak, and any future children along the way. Plus, let that just kind of be like a cushion for something if in case something happened. Name one guy, could be anyone, living or dead. Would you go gay for? Would you get gay for, or just sleep with once? Honest about that, I joke. I can always kid around. People can do that, but the honest, I can't say anybody, because really I couldn't. I could never bring myself to do that. It's not that it's a problem. I don't find myself having a problem with anybody, but I just can't honestly do that. So it would unfortunately have to be nobody. I'm sorry for whoever posted that question, and it's not what you're looking for. Have you ever smoked pot or done any hard drugs? No. I've never done any hard drugs, smoked pot, or anything like that. The only thing I've done, which kind of ties into the next question, is hard liquor. That's the farthest I've gone with being bad, so to speak. And my favorite alcoholic beverage is actually Jägermeister on ice. That was always been my favorite drink. It's because warm tastes nasty. On ice, it tastes great. And it's kind of smooth to go down. It has a little bit of a burn, but it's good. It's easier. I can't do the vodka because it's essentially like water with alcohol in it, and that just doesn't. This is not fun. Before you know it, you're gonna get hit by a freight train, and I don't like that feeling. I like knowing that I'm getting there if I'm working on trying to get tipsy, or have a good time, so to speak. Number 17 is, have you ever or would you ever smoke a cigarette? No. I've also not done that either. And I would never. Do I enjoy nipple stimulation? No. No. You can even ask her. no. I yell at her every single night about it because she sits there and tries to play, and I'm like, no, stop it, go away. And I roll over, and then she keeps continuing to do it, and I smack her hand, and it's just, no. What is your middle name? It's Thomas. Ryan Thomas Reynolds, RTR. Have you ever tucked up your junk to look like a vagina? You mean like the whole thing, like all of it? I'm pretty sure I've tried that once upon a time. I just don't remember. Do you look at the toilet paper after you wipe? Yes and no. If I know that I'm like not feeling well or I'm sick, I look at it to make sure that I'm not bleeding or anything like that. Because if your tummy's rumbling and stuff like that, and it's just coming out like liquid, it's just you want to make sure that nothing's hurting down there. So in cases, yes, I do look at it, but most of the time, nope, it goes right in the toilet. Just wipe, go, that's it. So, now if I'm still like wiping and it's like 15 wipes later and there's still stuff on it, it's like, alright, listen, I need a wet wipe. That's just that story. So I go and grab Robert's. What's the worst smell you've ever smelled? My wife's farts.
What?
That would have to be my dad's wastewater treatment plant. There's been a couple of times that I've been to a couple of them with him. He used to work in Palm Bay. Now he works in a couple of other different cities since then. And some are better than others. Depends on how they treat it, really honestly. But yeah, no matter what, it still smells horrid when it's the raw sewage part. Because, it comes straight out of the sewer and on a conveyor belt. It's exactly what's in the water. So the only thing being separated is the water and the stuff that's in the water. So yeah, that's pretty horrid. You walk by that, it smells like a field of leveled cows just dead and rotting on the floor. It's disgusting. I've actually wanted to really vomit a couple times as I walk by there just to kind of get things out of my system at the same time. Might as well kill two birds with one stone, but I never did. What's the scariest thing you've ever had to do? That would have to be helping my friend get out of a situation with the cops while facing grand theft. Once upon a time, a long time ago, in a couple of different areas, he had a great idea to try to go into a certain place and steal a whole bunch of stuff. Thing is, we weren't breaking or anything, nothing like that. Like, we had just stumbled upon it, and all the doors were open, but it was a vending area. Like, you can open up these vending doors and take what's inside of it. Like, it was like an open invitation, essentially. So, like, we had a quick snack, so to speak, but then he's all like, dude, man, we could have this for the next, 3 or 4 days, while I'm over and staying the night at your house. I was like, yeah, sure, whatever. So we put it all in our backpacks, and as we were driving out, or riding our bikes out, the cop had pulled us over because there was suspicious activity in the area. It turns out that there was another group of people riding on bikes who were actually stealing from the convenience store and running into Wickham Park. And we said, we don't have anything on us. So when they looked inside of our backpacks, we said that was stuff that we had brought because we're coming back from my friend's house that lives on the other side. So we gave them our address, which was actually my other friend's address. So we actually kind of saved ourselves because they verified, and he said, yeah, they were with me all night. They're going back to his house, and so we were able to get away almost like scot-free, essentially, except we felt extremely guilty and ditched all the crap in a ditch one day. Like the next day, I think it was, or because he was there for 4 days. I just don't remember. Anyways, so that was the scariest thing I had to do, was cover up for somebody who I could have gone and gotten in a lot of trouble with. The next question is very long. It's like 5 lines on this piece of paper. It says, are you and Kim open with each other's previous relationships, sexual partners, and crazy stuff you did with friends? Or are some of the things you guys don't really tell each other about your past? Or are there some things you... Yeah. So, it goes on to say, if you are open with one another, Has there ever been anything that either of your past has caused any tension in your relationship? We're actually very open with each other. We know how many times we've had sexual relations with another person outside of our relationship that we weren't dating or anything like that at the time. So we know everything about each other. We're honest. There's no reason for me to doubt because it's the past. It doesn't matter. So and let's see, crazy stuff you did with friends. I'm pretty sure she's done a lot of crazy stuff, especially with her friend Nikki. So most definitely, and it doesn't really cause tension either. It made her who she is today, which is great. And same thing with me, makes me who I am today. So, let's see. There is one person who was an ex before me, who was really. I mean, I don't even really consider it like dating because they dated across the internet. Never really physically met. Skyped a couple of times, like that type of relationship. But the whole point of it was like he would disappear, not call her his girlfriend or anything like that, and didn't even introduce him to or her to any part of his family or anything like that. And any time that his family would stumble across her, it'd be like, "Oh, she's just a friend. Oh, she's just a friend." It's like, but he continued to say, "I love you, I love you, I love you more than anything in the world. I love you, I love you." So it was very annoying because I came into the picture and we had a very strong relationship from the very beginning, and he kept trying to toy with it. And it wasn't that he was stepping on my territory, so to speak, more so that it was annoying that he was bothering her. It wasn't even that I felt threatened, it was more like he was bothering my wife. So I knew that he was just some guy that was over in Hawaii somewhere. I don't have a freaking shot in the dark to worry about him at all. Not necessarily, like I said, it wasn't that he was stepping on my territory, just more though that he was harassing my wife. So it really put a dampering on progression of things. But we worked through it, and he still harasses her to this day, but I just don't care anymore. She ignores it, I ignore it. It's just stupid stuff. 25. Do you like grapefruit? Nope, not at all. Haven't tried it. Don't want to try it. I'm just afraid to. I'll be honest with you. I'm very scared. Don't want to do it. Don't ask me why either, because I really can't answer that. Honestly, do you see yourself being with Kim for the rest of your lives? Would you ever divorce for any reason, or do you believe that things can be worked out? Yes, I do. I do see myself being with her for the rest of my life. Cheating is a big thing, and you can work out with it. But cheating numerous of times, over and over again, why are you in a relationship then if you're not happy? So obviously cheating once, I can look past. Multiple times, not so much. It's just how I've always been. So if Kim one day came home and said, "I'm sorry, I slept with somebody," I would be very pissed. Figure out why, work on it, try to progress through, because I believe our relationship is more important than a setback, and that's a setback to me, not necessarily a thing to end all relationships, end of story. Because if you love somebody more than anything in the world, you want to spend the rest of your life with them, you made that commitment, you made that decision, you were 100% certain of it, then if you do something stupid, people make mistakes, and I understand that it's a big mistake, but one time, and don't even look for it to be an excuse for one time, but God forbid it happens. I mean, under the influence of alcohol, drugs, you got slipped a roofie, you don't know, different things like that. You gotta give a little bit of leeway. You can't just shut your door on it, because if it's a relationship that you completely care about, you gotta learn to progress through things and try to work it out. If you can't, ultimately, it just is the way it is, and you gotta look at alternatives. So, sorry about that long answer, but yes, I do believe things can be worked out, for the most part. Again. without beating a dead horse. What's your favorite dad moment so far? Uh, so far is when Bear started giving me hugs. Um, my heart melts, literally. It melts into a tiny puddle of liquid on the floor. I mean, well, not really tiny because my heart's pretty big, but it literally melts. It's the greatest feeling in the world because now he's showing affection without even having to ask. He'll come up after I get out of work, give me a big hug and a big kiss, and say, "I love you, Daddy," and that's big for me. You know, that's he's only 2, so I can't really. I mean, he's had a lot of moments where he's awesome, or he does like big things, but it's like that's the best. Is when your son or your child at that point, starts really coming up to you, giving you affection regardless of the situation, because he or she wants to. That's the best thing. That's honestly the best thing. What's the worst thing you've done so far as a dad? Like the worst you've messed up? Made an oopsie one day driving in the state of Florida here, and we have a lot of arrogant pricks on the road. So I had used I won't mention the word. Don't put it in a comment either underneath this. It was a bad word, put it that way, and I would never wish for him to repeat it again. But he did over and 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 over again in the car. So he knows now because we don't use the word, and he hardly hears it anymore. He knows the word, but he doesn't say it. So I think we've dodged a bullet, but every now and then it does come back out. So let's hope it's not going to by accident when somebody's babysitting him and he says something and it's like, "Where'd you hear that from, Daddy?" Hurrah. Star right here. Dad of the Year award. What's your least favorite household chore? Dusting. Every single day, and you can hear it right now. I don't know what it is about it. I can vacuum. I can just clean a ceiling fan. Wipe down a countertop. And then my sinuses melt. I'm highly allergic to dust. It doesn't matter if I wear a mask and goggles or completely put put a helmet over my head and completely submerge it with nothing gets into it. Like it's completely secluded from all air outside of my ambient atmosphere, so to speak. No matter what I do, I always get a huge allergy attack, and it lasts for like 2 to 3 days. And then it turns out to be my next day off, and then I start cleaning again. Never-ending cycle. So that's my least favorite chore, is dusting. I can actually do laundry or cook or do all the dishes, or I can do everything else but dusting, and I'll still have more fun than dusting. Says a lot. And the last one is, what is your favorite question of this video and why? I would have to say, what's the worst smell you've ever smelled? That was honestly my favorite one because on the side screen, it was very funny. So it was a very good question. And I really appreciate whoever submitted that because me and Kim both got a very good laugh for a very, very, very long time while we had to take breaks and charging our battery because this is such a long video. So yeah, we that was probably the best question because we laughed for about 5 to 10 minutes after we had turned off the video for it. I enjoyed doing this little video thing, whatever it's called, vlog, yes, that's it, vlog. You got it, Ryan. Day number 2. All right. So one day, let's see, this is the third one. Just like you guys sent questions to her, send a theme, so to speak, of a thing that you might want me to do for the next vlog, which would be Friday, so 7 days from now. And tell me what you may or may not want to know. So I guess it's kind of like another Q&A, but not really. It's just more like whoever gets the most votes Like Kim will grab the top 5 or 6 that we elect of different topics, and then we'll put it up on a Tumblr and say which one do you vote, and we'll get the one with the most votes, and then we'll do that topic. Send me the topics that you want to do. Till then, I'll see you guys later.